which I'm going to mention through the course of my lecture. All right? There's some foundational books that you have to read.
Yes,
you may not even be Christian or Muslim, but you still have to have the Holy Quran and Bible.
Go ahead. Go
ahead.
Go ahead.
Chancellor Williams' Destruction of Black Civilization, you have to have that. Stolen Legacy by George G. and James. The ISIS Papers. All right? By Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. If you don't have these books, not only on your shelf, we have to write them into the hearts and minds of our people, because, listen, these brothers and sisters paved the way so that we can celebrate and come here together, right or wrong.
That's right. That's right.
The least we can do is study their work.
That's right.
I mean, that's the least we can do.
That's right.
If you haven't studied, watched my Alpha 21, or studied what the brother put down in the Willie Lynch letter, we have to understand these things, all right? All right, so Carter G. Woodson said this in his book. Now, I'm going to try to do this without my glasses. It says, when you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. You do not have to tell him not to stand here or go yonder. He will find his proper place, and he'll stay in it. You do not need to send him to the back door. He will go without being told. In fact, if there ain't even a damn back door, he will go cut one out for his special benefit. All right? His education makes it necessary for him to do that. And that's Carter G. Woodson in 1926. Are you following me? So we need to understand the importance of education and the value of history. All right? Elijah Muhammad said if you knew better, you would do better.
That's what he said.
I'm going to say that again in English. If you knew better, you would do better. But how many of us have children that are sitting in here? Do we hold the children responsible? I think there's an African proverb, when you send a child on a mission and they fail, we can't get mad at the children if we haven't properly prepared them for that particular mission.
That's right.
Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Come on now, you're giving me a weak response. In the book, The Sex Imperative, by Wally Bouquet Bomani Baruti out of Atlanta, he says this, a quote by Amos Wilson: we cannot have it both ways as parents. All right? We cannot have it both ways. It says we must look at the psychopathology of everyday life, and we must recognize that we cannot have it both ways. We cannot talk about the people who have enslaved us, who discriminate against us, who insult us, who do all manner of evil things against us, and then use them as models of normality. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
And yet these people are held up as normal and are used as the standard against which we measure ourselves as a people, and are used as models for us to determine the way our children should behave. Are you following me? So we have to understand something. If we pattern ourselves after our open enemy, how are you going to make progress? What's the clinical definition of insane? When a person does something over and over and over and over and expecting a different result.
Go ahead.
Are you following me? You have to change your approach, all right, if you're going to expect a different outcome. So there's just a few concepts that I want to talk about. But while we're on that point of the children, let me digress by saying this. I wanted to read this other scripture, these other two scriptures here, simply because I wanted to kind of lay a base. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, 18th verse says, when I say unto the wicked that thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wicked ways, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thy hand. What is that basically saying? That after you hear this message, regardless of whether you take one iota of truth with you, you held responsible for it. Are you following me? Your blood, in essence, is off my hands. I'm no longer responsible for you. Are you following me? All right, cool. The second thing is St. Luke chapter 12, the 47th verse. Pardon me. We're going to skip over that. We're going to dive into 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, where it says, this know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful and unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce despisers of that which is good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, for such turn away. Is that not going on right now as we speak in America?
Yes, sir.
Are you following me? And a lot of us are affected by it. But since we don't know what it looked like when we see somebody wearing a mohawk and 2 earrings and some damn skinny jeans kissing on the same sex in the mall, we don't know what it looks like. Are you following me? You see, it's going to be difficult for us to fathom the depth of wickedness of white people. But some of us are still in love with white people to the degree where we feel we take them on as our saviors. Are you following me? Let's go over some saviors that you might have taken on that you're probably